Good morning, traders. Welcome to the market call for today, the 6th of October 2025. We're excited to have you all here today for the market call. My name is CJ, and during the period of this market call, we're going to be taking you through the top-down analysis of major currency pairs and major currency indices, starting off with the dollar index and then GBP USD and Euro USD. When we do so, we're now going to proceed into having more discussions and outlook on these pairs that we have called out so far. And this is going to be how our analysis this morning is going to be running. My name is CJ once again, and I'm going to be your host for this first part of the market caller. So we want you to sit tight, relax, and enjoy the rest of the market caller as we show you what we seem to look out for in the following pairs that we just called out. All right, starting off with the dollar index. Now, if we've seen in the last couple of days, the dollar index has been showing us signs that it could be gathering momentum for one more move to the upside. However, if you're looking at it from the weekly time frame, we already had our bias on the dollar index that was kind of clear a couple of weeks ago. We said we wanted to see the dollar index sell because on the weekly time frame, if you look clearly, you'll see that it has been on a very strong downtrend, and it has been selling since then. However, recently we've seen it struggle around that place, somewhere around 98 to 97 price point or 96. It has been ranging around there, but we want to see a strong break to the downside to confirm our bias of a bullish, or sort of a bearish dollar index. So on the weekly time frame, it has not been giving us any clear signs for an immediate trade. However, long term, dollar index is still bearish on the weekly time frame. Now, if we look at the daily time frame, you would also notice the same thing that has been happening on the weekly time frame. But instead, in this case, price made a move to the upside as though it was going to buy. However, we still held our bearish bias on the dollar index, which is for a sell, and we're expecting that to play out further into the remaining part of this month and this year generally. We saw that break to the upside where price broke structure. However, a couple of days later, we saw it break this structure again to the downside when we saw the dollar index trading to this level here and below. Okay, so we can see here, we saw the break to the downside, resuming the downtrend. Now, price has returned to this left shoulder a couple of times, and we're expecting it to continue selling from there moving forward. So on the daily time frame, we still have a clear sell trend on the dollar index, regardless of the consolidation that we've been seeing happening around here sometime in the month of August into early part of September. We still have that bearish bias on the dollar index. Now, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you would notice as well that on the 4-hour time frame, the retracement kind of looked like a buy trend, but overall, we are still bearish on the dollar index. I still have a very strong bearish bias on the dollar index, and I want to see how far this is going to sell. You can see how the dollar index struggled to break this high and then finally closed above it, but then came back downwards. Overall, I'm expecting a sell-off on the dollar index. Seeing that price is kind of in a premium zone, I'm expecting that sell to happen clearly to the downside. So for the dollar index, we can be looking out for places where the dollar index might be selling from. One of the places I'm looking out for is this 1-hour order block. At the open of today, we saw how price created this volume gap. In my mind, I think it is heading to this level here before the sell to the downside. Since this was like the origin of this new sell trend, I think price might just make one more move here and then sell off to the downside. So for today, this is what I'm expecting on the dollar index. I'm expecting a sell, and by that, we want to see price trade off this order block right here, and then it sells off. So for the dollar index, I'm expecting a sell to the downside for this particular pair today. Okay, so let's also look at Euro USD and GBP USD so that we can see the immediate trades we can take from these using the analysis we just made on the dollar index. Now, starting off with Euro USD, since we're expecting a sell off on the dollar index, that invariably means we're expecting a buy on euro USD. But of course, let's have a weekly time frame analysis on euro USD so that it will frame our bias on lower time frames. Now, if you look at the daily time frame on euro USD, sorry, the weekly time frame on euro USD, you can see that it has been on a clear path to a buy trend, and we've drawn out some areas we're expecting it to trade to, and we can see that price has traded into those areas overall, and now we're expecting it to trade even higher to some distant areas above. Now let's look at it more closely. You see that same thing that was happening to the dollar happened to the euro USD right here, where it struggled to break further to the upside. Right now, we're expecting to see a very strong and forceful push to the upside. We might need a news event to initiate that, as we're expecting NFP release this Friday, somewhere, this Friday, we're expecting NFP. So that could be the major push for the dollar to the downside and euro USD to the upside. So we could see price range a lot this week, and then maybe that will create a strong move, and then the follow-up would be more bullishness on euro USD. But for now, you can see how euro USD is struggling to even break the lows and staying within this range. On the 4-hour time frame, you could also see that it is not selling as much. The bearish momentum is not as strong. Hence, we're expecting more buys on euro USD to the upside. Now, talking about more buys on the 1-hour time frame, you could see that price is right now struggling to break this low right here, and we're expecting it to just maintain that and create a new buy trend to the upside. So for us to get the buy trade of euro USD, for us, I think this is going to be a very dicey trade, but for those who are willing, because you can see how there was this strong momentum on the 15 minutes time frame, and this engulfing candle right here on 15 minutes time frame. This is looking like a very strong buy signal, seeing how price has traded into this level, struggle to break, and then you can see the momentum to the upside. So we could be looking at a euro USD buy from around this here, around this area here. Okay, so you could be looking at a standard euro USD buy from there, and immediately after this market call, I would go and possibly take this trade. You can see that the stop loss is quite decent, about 15 pips, since we're trading off this engulfing candle, and then the take profit will be all the way up here. I'm targeting these highs right here. Okay, so this is about 50 pips on euro USD. This is a buy trade I'm looking to take. So I'm seeing that this happens so quickly. You can look for maybe more entry signatures on the 5 minutes time frame. So you can look for engulfing candles on the 5 minutes time frame, or you can look for they call it the morning star pattern. Okay, so either of these two, you can look for them on the 5 minutes time frame or 15 minutes time frame of euro USD, and then we'll take the buy all the way to the upside. This is what we're expecting to play out on euro USD. Okay, so for euro USD, I'm expecting a buy, and this is the zone I'm expecting to buy from. This is where my stop loss is going to be, and my take profit is going to be right about here. Okay, so that is that on euro USD. Overall, we're expecting a buy on euro USD. This is the buy setup, and once it plays out, we'll be executing immediately. Now, let's also look at GBP USD. For GBP USD, I'm expecting similar thing to what we have on euro USD, which is a buy. I'm expecting a buy to play out on GBP USD. If you look at the weekly time frame as well, you can see that it is framed up clearly for a strong buy move to the upside. This is what we're looking out for on GBP USD, a buy. But if you look at the daily time frame as well, you see that it has been struggling within this zone, also struggled to close below here. So that is letting me know that this buy trend on GBP USD could still be in place. So I'm looking out for more buys on the lower time frame on GBP USD. You can see this mini break of structure, this small break of structure right here on the 4-hour time frame. This is letting me know that GBP USD is more for a buy trend than a sell. The 1-hour time frame, you can see, is quickly closing up the volume gap that was created, and overall, we're expecting GBP USD buy to play out. So if you look on the 15 minutes time frame, or just like the 4-hour time frame, just like euro USD rather, GBP USD has started pushing to the upside. Right now, I'm waiting for a little retracement on GBP USD, and I'll be taking my buy to the upside. Okay, so I want to see either an entry signature printout or a strong retracement to somewhere around this level here on GBP USD, and then I'll be taking my buy to the upside. So for GU, this is where I'm looking for my buy, somewhere around here. Okay, stop loss will be about 15 pips below, and then take profit will be minimum of 1:3, but of overall target will be somewhere around here. So looking at sticking out this high on GBP USD. So this is what I'm looking out for on GBP USD today. I'm looking for a buy from this zone, and then I'll be trading it all the way to the upside. You can see price has quickly tapped into our point of interest. It's as though it was listening to us, and immediately we mentioned it traded into this level. So I'm taking a buy on GBP USD right away. My stop loss is going to be somewhere below here, and then take profit is as initiated above, as said above. So you can see take profit is somewhere around 1.35083. Stop loss is around 1.34293. So I'm entering GBP USD buy from right here where it is currently, and I'm exiting somewhere around 1.5. So this is the trade on GBP USD, and I hope you are able to take advantage of it as well. Okay, so we're going to go on a very, very short break so that I can also take the trade we're calling out for you. And then when we return, we're going to continue our analysis looking at gold, the yen basket, and then other yen pairs. So sit tight and then enjoy the rest of the market color when we return in no distant time.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Color brought to you by the Value Trading Team. That was a great, insightful analysis from CJ, and it's so amazing how that during the session this morning, entries are really showing up, and because we've not really started the analysis. And by the way, I'm on GBP big sell. Just get your 1:2 and get out of the market. So let's go back to the analysis, starting with the precious metal this morning. All right, what do we have on the precious metal? We are going to start with the precious metal right away, and from there we move to Japan to see what is going on with the yen correlated pair so far. All right, let's quickly look at it. From the weekly time frame, we see how that the precious metal has really been very bullish all the way to the upside, giving new and fresh eyes day in, day out. And this week again, it has opened bullish again to create a new all-time high, and knowing fully well that our target still remains the 4,000 level, key level, right? So that is where we are heading to for the precious metal. When price get there, then we will now look forward to some level of pullback. But in the course of the weekend, our outlook was to see the market, pull back a bit from last week bullish move, then we continue our buy all the way to the upside. But the market opens to be bullish, and right now we are seeing the market running all the way to the upside. So that is what we have going on in the market right away. But let's look at it from the daily time frame. Now, if you look at the daily view, you are going to observe how that price has been very bullish all the way to the upside too, and we've not seen any levels where you can take any scalp from. Instead, we join the buy trend, and right now price has not really given any clean entry. But if we go to our 4-hour time frame, last week Friday, we did not really see a market structure shift. Instead, we kept on seeing price, pushing all the way to the upside. Now, what we have on the chart right now, based on what happened during the Asian session, we are now seeing a clean and clear burst pattern on the 4-hour time frame, as we already see price taking out liquidity from this particular level here. Our price already took out liquidity here, and we have our low, which is this particular one here. So now we already see price, created a new higher high, then this will be our low. Now, since price already created a new higher high, then this is going to be our shoulder. We expect that if price is going to pull back, when it gets to this zone, then we should see some level of resumption of the bullish trend all the way to the upside from the 4-hour time frame, which implies that this low we're expecting price to come all the way into, price is not likely going to get there. Instead, we are most likely going to see price do something of this nature for the week. All right, price selling all the way to this key level for the buy, and when price gets to this key level, which is this shoulder, and even an order block, which is the reference at this particular point, and we are going to see the buy all the way to the upside. So this is for the precious metal on the 4-hour time frame. But we won't just hold our hands to see market trade all the way down here, and we'll be watching. But you can do that also. Let's now look at the 1-hour time frame to see what exactly do we have there. Great. The boss pattern is clearly stated on the 1-hour time frame. As you can see, the sweep of liquidity, and which is below here, and price creating a high. And just below that, you can also see the low of Friday. There's high tendency. Price comes all the way to take out the low of Friday, refining that level. So this is going to be our POI. First, this shoulder level when price tapped into it, which also have a reference on the 4-hour time frame. Price tapped into it, you can easily follow through to the upside. While at the same time, when price comes to this liquidity level, to grab this liquidity level, I love to see price take out liquidity level first and begin to push all the way to the upside. All right, so that is that for the GBP precious metal moving forward this morning. Now on the 15-minute time frame, what is the end? What entry are we seeing there? It's just a confirmation of what we are seeing on the 4-hour time frame and even the 1-hour time frame. So we're expecting that the precious metal is going to pull back. When it gets to this level, these are the levels we can technically join the buy of the precious metal. All right, so that is what we have right now for it. And I know someone will want to be like, can't we scalp the sell to the downside? We are not seeing any structure for that. Instead, just be patient. This is not a shoulder at all. So let's be patient to see a clear entry for the sell. When we see a clear entry, then we pull the trigger. And if not, we stay out. Yes, you are going to say, yes, we have a minor structure here, which you can say, yes, but is not really sure. Instead, let's stay in line with the trend until you see a very clear market structure shift. So trying to sell from this place is more like you gambling. All right. So just wait and allow the market print out your entry signature, and you follow through to the downside as expected. All right. So that is that for the precious metal. Let's quickly take a quick move to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket. Now for the yen basket on the weekly time frame, our analysis still remains that price should come all the way to take out this weekly liquidity level, and very surprising that at the open of the week, price ran all the way towards that level. Just remaining a little bit for price to take out this level. When price takes out this level, then the sell party and the buy party for yen for the yen basket can begin, which is going to be a sell party for the yen correlated pair. All right, so that is what we're looking out for. There is still high tendency to see price take out this liquidity. We've been waiting for this since last year for price to come and take out this liquidity, and price is gradually attempting to get to that region. So immediately price takes out this, then we can go on a very big sell on the yen correlated trade. Since this is our analysis for the yen basket on the weekly time frame, if you look at it from the daily time frame, we have similar pattern. Last week happens to be a bullish week as against our bearish analysis for the yen basket, which we term more as a pullback for price to take out this liquidity, and exactly that is what happened. And moving forward, we are expecting price to still come a little bit more to the downside to clear the ultimate level. Then we start our buy of the yen all the way to the upside, because we want to see price grab all these diagonal liquidity all the way to the 7,400 levels. All right, so that is what we are looking out to see play out on the yen basket for this week. And for today, as you can see, today's candle opened heavily bearish, and we still expect that to still go a little bit more to the downside to take out this liquidity fund. So that is our analysis for the yen basket today. All right, so let's quickly move to GBP/JPY to see the correlated move on GBP/JPY. Now for GBP/JPY, we see how that price created a jump. All right, this week you can see how that price created a jump all the way at the open of the market some hours ago, yesterday night to be specific. And on Friday, our analysis has been that if price could take out this high and we see it pull back all the way here to take out this, then we can easily follow to the upside. But knowing fully well that the sell party is about to start from the yen pair, there's high tendency this structure we have for last week may not hold again because of the new narrative showing up. But based on what we have here right now, we are expecting that price should pull back to cover few of this gap that is being created, and that is why right now, if we go to your 1 hour time frame, that is what we are seeing right now. Price already got into our if you look at the daily POI of GBP/JPY, that is where price currently is now. It has tapped properly. We've been expecting that to happen since some months ago, and price has tapped properly into it. As you can see, price really tapped into that level, and we expect a sell to the downside. So since that is our analysis, that is what we're now to see for GBP/JPY. We're expecting a sell today and most likely this week particularly, right? And if you look at it on the lower time frame, we are going to observe starting from the 5-minute time frame, just in the course of the TDA session during the dollar analysis, we see a bit entry for the GBP/JPY sell to the downside, which is this looking more of our shoulder, and we have this reference point here where price came to tap into and pick some orders, and this is just the first trial with a 20 pip stop loss, and we're expecting 1:2, which is somewhere around this place. You have your 1:2 somewhere here. Yes, it gave the 1:2 as we entered, but because of the full move we are still expecting, let's try and do 1:3 or so, so for us to get it. Since that is the overall move for the week, we are expecting a sell on the yen correlated pair, since that is the overall move for the week. So let's see how that delivers quickly for us today. All right, so that is that for GBP/JPY. We are still expecting a sell, and remember, the sell is not just this unless you just want to get your thing out quickly. We're expecting this gap to be filled. At least 50% of this gap should be filled at least, and knowing fully well that the overall move for the yen pair for this week is most likely going to be a sell, because we already see the yen basket approaching the level where we expect the long-term buy. And if the yen basket is buying, we expect the yen correlated to start selling. All right, so that is the outlook that we have on GBP/JPY. Yes, this has already done 1:2, but we expect it to do more, right? So let's move with that, leaving it that way. All right, if there's any question, you can start typing now as we quickly go into EUR/JPY. Now for EUR/JPY, let's quickly take a look at what we have going on EUR/JPY for the week. For EUR/JPY too, it is so weird as we see EUR/JPY taking out the last year high, taking it all the way out of the way. And since it took it out, we are actually expecting this to be a protected high, because we've been expecting a long-term sell of GBP/JPY, of which last week happens to be a sell which we assume to be the resumption of the long-term sell of EUR/JPY. However, at the open of the market, we saw the jump all the way to the upside, see it all the way to the upside for EUR/JPY, and that is giving us a very clear insight of what we should expect because of what is going on the yen basket. And just as we said earlier on, our bias for the yen basket this week is sell to buy, of which the sell already happened. We expect to buy right now. Now for Euro JPY, you are going to see the sell going on right now. Let's go to the lower time frame to look at the entry. The reason why we did not pull trigger for Euro JPY is it did not give a very clean entry signal. So yes, this is the shoulder level. Price only came to tap into this order block here and it lagged all the way to the downside. So compared to when price is expected to come somewhere around here, this is where the pending order is for Euro JPY. But since it already started selling somewhere around this level here, what then should we now look out for? Now the next place, all things being equal, if price is going to keep selling, is this particular move, what you see happen here is an entry here too for the sell. And at the same time, we've already seen another entry for the sell here too, just that the stop loss may be a little bit wider, knowing fully well where we are still heading to and what has happened here. And that is why GBP/JPY happens to be the most preferred sell for this session this morning. All right, so but if you want to try out Euro JPY, you can still pull your trigger somewhere here, knowing fully well that price may likely come with what your stop loss will be somewhere at the top of this level here. All right, and if you have rooms to accommodate the stop loss to be at this top here, then know fully well that you are targeting something very high. You are targeting the whole of this gap, right? And that is going to be a sweet one if you can. All right, but moving forward, we can see how price is moving towards the gap to the top. All right, let me take some quick questions here before we call it a day. Yeah, Mr. John said, good morning. I observed that there are gaps jump in most pairs. What is the cause? Yes, it's as a result of the events that happened during the weekend, and that is why we are seeing all those jumps, especially on pairs. Pairs on, we did not have the release of this guy on Friday. The release of this news NFP on Friday. So there has been a lot of speculations all through in the market, and it's mostly happens like that in the open of the week where we don't have things like that. So we tend to see most jumps. And for us to take advantage of those jumps, that's why we look for entry signature at the top of the jump so that we follow price to cover at least 50% of the jump, right? Then price can then pick any direction it wants to pick. But you'll be surprised to see it more clearly on USD JPY. That is what we are playing on those two pairs currently. All right, so that is it. If there are further questions, you can easily type in the chat box. And if there's no question, remember Falcon doesn't jump, neither does it do anything that manual trading can affect your psychology or so. But this, as a matter of fact, is a very sweet one for Falcon doing its thing in and out. So you can jump on the Falcon program where we have our automated trading. The bot trade for you. You take 100% of your profit. All you need to do is just pay a leasing fee of $50, and you have it for the whole month. You plug it into your account. And the minimum account size trade is $1,000 with $2,000 in your wallet for buffer in case of margin calls. All right. So we have that ongoing. You can visit www.valueflowtrading.com/Falcon to check what is going on it. And you can visit our YouTube page to see the performance live of Falcon on our YouTube page. You watch how it takes trade day in, day out, 247 is there. We are not hiding anything from you. You can easily see it live there. All right. If there is no further question, this is going to be the end of the market caller today, brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Till we meet again in the afternoon for the New York session. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Japet said, does it work in any broker? Yes, I can't really answer that question, but we have a preferred broker that we use. So if you jump on the leasing program, we have SNS that we use. So we'll send the link to you where you can easily create your account and you get a very quick and prompt customer support when you are on that broker, that particular broker, right? All right. So you can easily reach out to us on any of our social media handle or on our WhatsApp handle so that you get much more insights about the bot. All right. So that is it. Okay. That is it. Right. So if there are no further questions, we meet by 2 p.m. this afternoon for the New York recap. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Once again, I'm Lekon Shemi. Cheers and God bless.